Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel Lyckekaga, and here we have the next video in my Dark Academia series. This time I wanted to try and make a smaller build, but not compromising the opulence and the intricacy of these kinds of builds. This build is quite a bit smaller than my last one, but I have focused more on height and making it kind of more thin, not as wide as the other one, and also because of this lot, which is quite elongated, I chose to make the house smaller instead of elongate the house as well, and instead focus on making a beautiful backyard to accompany it. I also thought that this house should have a different vibe from its neighbor, so I went with a sort of a darker tone for this house, more of a gothic vibe, if you know what I mean. And I also went with wood paneling instead of stonework for the exterior of this house. As you can see, I won't hold back on the details. There won't be as many details as the last builds, but because this house is smaller, the detailing went faster and there's not as many options for different detailings as there was in the last one. But I will try my very best to still make it a Dark Academia worthy house. So I love adding a lot of windows to my builds because they make the rooms so nice and light, and also windows in themselves, I think, stands for most of the exterior decorations of a house. So if the windows don't match or the windows don't really fit in with the vibe of the house, it can look really strange. So I try to always find windows that match what I'm going for, and of course match each other. I talked a bit about this in the last build as well. I always struggle with placing the rooms on the inside after I'm done with the exterior shell, because I place a lot of windows and the rooms don't always match up with where I put the windows, so sometimes I end up dividing a window in two rooms, which I hate and I try to avoid as much as I can. But sometimes there's just no avoiding it, and I have to instead focus on the integrity of the room and try to ignore that the windows are cut in half, sort of. If you haven't checked out my first video of this series, please do that, and you can find that up on the right corner now. So check that out to see my first build in this series. I will continue to post videos of my builds as soon as I'm done editing them, and as soon as I'm done building them, of course. I try to build some parts of a new house every day, but I am working as well. I do have a family to take care of, and sometimes there's not a lot of hours left in the evenings to get a lot of things done. So I try to juggle both editing videos and building new builds, and also have some relaxation time for myself. So if you think that if you think that it's taking too long between videos, I do apologize, but I am really trying my best, I promise. So I love that they finally added the roofing in The Sims 4. That was actually something that really annoyed me in my previous builds, especially when I went into life mode and could view the room from all of the different angles. The roofing was always this boring grey slab of cement, which I hated, because the roofs add a lot of character to a building. So much so that in old buildings and very intricate buildings, you will find that the ceilings often have artwork in them. So I think it was about time that The Sims added the function of giving character to their roofs. And I'm very glad they did. For this build, I wanted to make it a simpler house, not as decorated and stylish as the other house. I thought this is more of a house to live in, not to show off to guests. And it has quite an old vibe. As you can see, the kitchen hasn't been updated for a while, and I did that purposefully so that the vibe of the house is that the people that are living there aren't fabulously wealthy. They live there to live there, they don't live there to have parties or have guests. So it's more of a lived-in space, in contrast to my first build, which is a house for maybe aristocrats or a very wealthy, connected family that house a lot of guests and have a lot of parties, and the house needs to be accommodating for those purposes. I couldn't really fit a large library in this build, so I tried to do my best with shelving and putting books in them, because I do think that when I do builds that don't include the TVs or gaming stations or PCs and stuff like that, you need to have some recreation, and the books are a fabulous recreational hobby. And sometimes I would wish that I didn't have my computer and my TV and my cell phone and my games, because that would free up a lot of time to read. And at the same time, I can choose to just not use my computer or my TV and instead settle down with a good book. I do that from time to time, but as of right now, I don't have a book that I really want to read, and so I don't. Instead, I spend my time building builds in The Sims, making videos for you guys, and trying my best to build this channel up. I do this mostly for fun, and just to see if others would actually like my builds. I've been playing The Sims for a really long time. I remember I started out with Sims 2. I'm not an OG Simmer. I didn't start out with the Sims 1. I started out with the Sims 2, and then I played that for a really long time before I made the switch to The Sims 3. And then I played that for a really long time before I finally made the switch to The Sims 4. I was really skeptical of the Sims 4 features, mainly because they removed the open world aspect that the Sims 3 had, and also because they kind of restricted the building possibilities a bit. In the Sims 3 you could place lots everywhere, and you could free place them in the worlds, and that made it possible for us to do sort of more magical buildings, such as a large castle or a fairy castle and stuff like that in the woods, or maybe a lighthouse out on an island, which I really enjoyed as a part of The Sims 3. But when I made the switch to Sims 4 and I saw how they had improved on a lot of other features that The Sims 3 lacked, I couldn't go back, so to say. And also my game was full of mods and didn't really function anymore. Lagged a lot. So I haven't played The Sims 3 since I made the switch. Spent some time learning how to build in Sims 4. It's quite different, but I've enjoyed that as well. And I do like the fact that I can still add my mods, and now I have a more powerful computer than I did with The Sims 3, so I've added a lot of mods and CC content to make my building process even more enjoyable for myself and hopefully for you guys. If you want to download some of the CC content that I use in my builds, please let me know in the comments, and I will post the links to my CC content in a later video in the description for you guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this Dark Academia village will develop over time. Now this is house number 2, so I'm really in the starting phase, and I'm looking forward to getting to build some of the community lots and see how I can make those function for what they need to function as and still make it the Dark Academia style. I'm not really decided if I should add like a workout place. Like the Sims still need to work out and they can go jogging and stuff like that, but it would be fun to make a place where they could sort of work out more old-fashioned style. So that was my speed build, and here you can see the result from my small manor, number 1. Here you have the living room with the sim that I made for this house. As you can see, the library is sort of just shelves alongside the staircase there, and a little desk to work on. You have the really old-fashioned kitchen with an open stove. It actually functions. And you also have the fridge there next to the window. It doesn't look like a fridge. You have the backyard with a nice little seating area underneath the tree and also inside the pergola. Perfect for spending late summer evenings or have a romantic little get-together with a potential partner. Here you have the master bedroom and the second bedroom. I love that bed. It's so cute. It's so nice. It's a single bed though. The only bathroom in this build that actually functions. I didn't really have the space for another one. And the bathing chamber on top here, I don't think that this will work at all in-game. But it's cute and funny. Sort of a homage to the old days. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get a notification every time I post another video. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you and bye!